Hey, what's up guys? Now with the new recent coronavirus spreading, a lot of people are being forced into isolation, into quarantine, and practicing social distancing. Now, this is a really good idea to lessen the impact of the virus. However, it also means that it's going to be affecting our fitness goals as many gyms are closed now. So what I wanted to do today is show you 9 exercises that are straight to the point, that are very effective, and that can be progressed with minimal to no equipment. So without further ado, let's get on to them. All right, for the first exercises, we're going to be showing you the lower body. So I'm going to show you 3 progressions. First one is going to be a reverse lunge. So nice, simple reverse lunge where you drop the back knee, squeeze the glutes with a neutral spine. You can progress with this with dumbbells if you'd like to. And you can also progress into a Bulgarian split squat using a couch. So you're going to locate the couch, top of the foot, drop that back knee down, practice full range of motion, just like this. Not locking the knee at the top to keep tension on the quads and the hams, just like that. And then you could also progress to a much more advanced movement, which would be like a pistol squat. All right, so for this next lower body movement, we're going to be doing more of a hip hinge. So real quick, it's called a hip thrust. Now we're going to be using again our couch, and we're going to go ahead and use our lower shoulder blades and keep our butt tucked. Now we're going to drive our hip bones up to the ceiling and add a dumbbell if this is too easy. Now if that is also too easy, we're going to go ahead and go into one leg and do a single leg hip thrust, just like this. Now, a good progression is to again add a dumbbell to that one if that's too easy. Now, another movement that you could do using a couch would be a Nordic ham curl. And this is going to be for the hamstrings. Now, as you can see, you can have a partner hold you down or again the couch. And the important thing here is to drive your hip and keep it extended the whole time. So we're going to go slow, 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 slow. And then we're going to press up, keeping the hip forward. Slow, 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 slow. Just like that. All right, so the next is going to be an upper body movement. So we're going to be showing you the progressions of a push-up. So we can start with a couch or an elevated countertop like in the kitchen. We're going to keep our elbows tucked, neutral spine, and keep our glute squeezed as well. So we're going to press up like this. Now to progress to that, we would go to the floor. Again, same thing, neutral spine, squeeze the glutes, keeping those elbows slightly tucked to create an arrow. To progress in that, you could add a plate to your back, you can wrap a rubber band around, or you can do an incline push-up on that couch to hit more of the upper chest. Just like that. All right, now that push-up was a horizontal pushing across the body movement. So now we want to do a vertical pushing movement to balance it out. So there's a couple options that we can do. If we don't have any equipment, then I do recommend the inverted shoulder press. Now it would look like this. So we can use an elevated surface, but this time we stick our butt in the air and we actually drive our head down. So we're going to be hitting more or less a vertical plane and hitting our deltoids. Now you can progress to the floor, of course, and have our butt sticking to the air. We can put our feet on the bench to make it harder, or you can actually elevate your feet all the way onto a wall and eventually be doing handstand push-ups. Now, if you have dumbbells, you could simply do standing dumbbell shoulder presses. And if you don't have that, but you have bands, you can easily do some banded shoulder presses like this. Keeping a neutral spine, rib cage down. All right, so one of the hardest parts about home workouts is getting in your pulling movements. Now, bands are almost the easiest thing to do if you don't have dumbbells. So I have some JC Predator bands that I really, really dig. You can get different bands out there that are going to work just the same, but what's important is that they can have this attachment where they allow you to pin it or anchor it into a door. So if you anchor it and lock the door, you now are secure, and you can do some horizontal rows like this. So we'll pull these out. Neutral spine, keep tension on the arms the whole time, and do your rows just like this. Now that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is more of a vertical pull, just to balance out. So we're going to place this up top. Lock it in. Again, lock the door so you don't get, somebody doesn't walk in and you get hurt. And now we're going to do a vertical lat pull down with this. So I'm leaning forward with a neutral spine and pulling in a vertical plane. You can also do some face pulls as well, which is going to hit more of those shoulders and traps. All right, now I typically put my core or my isolation exercises at the end of a circuit or at the end of a workout. So we're going to show you a couple progressions on the prone bridge, also known as the plank. So in this case, we would start with a elevated plank like this. So your feet are together, your butt squeezed, and you're in a neutral spine. Now, if this is too easy, you can go onto the elbows with your eyes over top of the thumbnails. If this is too easy, you could either add weight to your back like a plate, or you could simply elongate yourself and extend that moment arm, and then you're gonna have a lot more difficult of a time holding this, like this, just like that. Another thing to RKC it and to squeeze, so we'll pull towards our toes really, really hard, and that's gonna engage the anterior core and make this thing a lot more difficult. So those are some ways to progress. All right, for this exercise, we're gonna be doing more of a dynamic core exercise. So we're gonna start off with a reverse crunch. Now, it involves keeping the lower back flat and our arms overhead in this case. And this is gonna help some of the hyperlordosis that you see in a lot of people. To progress this, you could add weight or support your hips with your hands, with your legs straight. Exhale as you come up. And in order to progress this one, we could also add weight. Or we could switch to what we would call a jackknife. So this is where we're gonna come up. Now, this is a little bit more of an advanced move, but it does take some coordination practice. And again, you could probably add weight to that too as a progression. All right, so those are some of the exercises that I would recommend doing at home. Now, how you would organize and work these into a circuit, I typically would recommend doing a lower body movement, then an upper body push, then an upper body pull, and then maybe another push and pull on a vertical plane. Finishing off with some core exercises, maybe some arms is a good idea, and then I would repeat. Now, depending on your fitness level, 3 to 5 times a week would be awesome for frequency. You'd wanna try to do 1 to 2 exercises per muscle group would be a good idea per workout. And then anywhere from 3 to 4 sets, depending on your goals and the volume that you can handle. These are really loose terms in terms of rules of thumb, and it really depends on you, but those are some that you can follow. So, all right, get out there and I should say stay in and get some workouts done. All right.